Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei, because today we will be looking at what if MCC had entirely new player roster. Look, I understand MCC Rising is a thing, but the thing with MCC Rising is those are viewer teams. I have not made viewer teams. I have made teams of established creators that you might have in consideration for MCC, and I think it makes for a pretty interesting dynamic. But before we get into all of that, let's look at what's on the screen right now. It's art of me and Booster fighting because we're going to be on a team this weekend. This is on the Reddit as well for Block Wars, which, by the way, I think it's the second most upvoted post right now. Go on the Block Wars Reddit and upvote that post if you haven't already. Make it the most upvoted post. It'd be pretty cool. It's cool art, so thumbs up for me. Anyways, this concept I have done in the past already. I did it on the 13th of December 2022, which is a little over 2 years ago. Yes. And obviously, as you can see in front of the screen here, a lot has changed, maybe potentially in terms of who would be eligible for MCC, or maybe even more so, who's played MCC at this point. I think a pretty good portion of the people that are on this screen have entered the Decision Dome at some point in the past, and that's why I was like, you know what, maybe we should make a new version. Also because when I look at some of these teams, I'm like, why is Germa with these people on the Cyan team? Why is why are Red and Clown with Ninja? Like, what's the logic here? So let's also, I did a rookies thing obviously recently, which featured, I think, 2 entirely new players and 2 returning players per team ish, roughly. Not entirely, nope, that's definitely not what that actually is. However, it featured some people who've already played before, which makes it a bit easier to make teams. Having entirely new people is difficult, unless they sign up on the same team, like Rising, but that is not the case here. Either way, let's get into the team. Starting off with this one, Clown Pierce, Pangy, Ross Cumber, and D-Town Cat. I might have a bit of trouble naming every single profile picture, because these partially are people I am not very familiar with. However, this is a Realm SMP team. It makes sense. 2 of these people, Pangy and Ross, have been in heavy talks in terms of potentially being added to MCC, more so by the community. I think Pangy may have spoken about it himself already. I don't know if Ross has. And then Clown and D-Town Cat, also on the Realm SMP. I think they are in contention. They're in contention to potentially make an appearance if they were interested to play. Next up, we're going to go through these a little bit more quickly. Is the Orange team, which consists of Silver Runs, Kylef, Nerdy, and President Poundcake. This is a House Builder Gang team, HBG, speedrunner team, with, I think, Kyle being the most recent HBG member on this team. Silver is someone who's highly requested for Block Wars, but also has been also pretty actively talked about in terms of the entire Minecraft event scene as a whole. Has mostly popped off in like Twitch Rivals-esque events, but outside of that hasn't really had much playtime. Nerdy, I think, is mostly known for MCSR ranked related stuff. He is one of the main commentators usually for MCSR ranked, and also he played in PB like once or twice, I think, so that's cool. And then Poundy is known across the Minecraft event scene as well, so yeah, fun team. Next up, on the yellow team, you have Boblu, AJ the Bold, FBO, and CWAT Gaming. This is almost a full Parkour Civ team, but as you can see, you know, Clown Pierce had to be taken out in favor of making this Realm team happen, and then Cookie God can't be on here because he's already played on MCC before, and that's why I was like, F it, I'm just gonna pick someone who I think would fit, and I picked Boblu. I don't know if he knows anyone on this team, but I think he'd be fine. I mean, FBO and CWAT are confirmed to be playing in the FBO is confirmed to be playing in the Boblu Block Wars event. CWAT, I'm sure, is also has probably spoken to Boblu before, if I had to guess. And I'm sure he knows AJ the Bold as well, because I think they're from the same group, roughly, originally at least. I could be wrong though. Either way, should be an interesting combo here. Also, I guess at this point, I should mention these are probably not balanced teams, because there's no way I would know how to balance the teams. I didn't even really try. You'll notice later on, I didn't really try. I just wanted to make something fun. Next up though is the Lime team, which is A bit of an interesting mix. This is Greninja, Andres, Sleepy, and Rainho. I think I was supposed to make this like a Block Wars player team, and then I put Andres on there, who is not a Block Wars player. However, Sleepy and Rain are very notable Block Wars players, and Stu has been in the event for a while as well. I think this would be an interesting dynamic. Oh, now I understand. Stu and Andres, funny dynamic. I think, honestly, Stu, Andres, Sleepy, and Rain would be quite the experience overall. I think it's it's something for sure. Regardless, moving along, we're going to go to the green team, which consists of another Block Wars-esque team, Kamen18, Mecha, Giga, and Iron Mouse. Could see this. I mean, in terms of Block Wars combo, it makes sense. I don't know if we'll ever see like a prominent VTuber like join MCC like that. I don't know if we'll see like an Iron Mouse or maybe a Giga make an appearance. I do think that if the opportunity were to arise, they would take it. I actually do think like if more so Giga is probably like down to play in MCC if it were to ever be offered, and I think it'd be interesting. I mean, Kamen's one of the most popular Minecraft YouTubers modern day as well. He's been talked about in terms of MCC plenty as well, so I think that would be fun. Also, yeah, I tried to make this somewhat make sense in terms of being invited to MCC. Maybe not all cohesively, but I tried to pick new people that maybe would be in contention. You're going to see a lot of Block Wars people in here because, of course, but yeah. I tried to make somewhat amount of sense compared to the other time, this one, where I just kind of randomly picked a bunch of creators partially, and it didn't really add up too much. So yeah. Next up, though, we have the Cyan team, which is an all-women team, of course, and it consists of Jumper Who, Rattles, SK, and Doki Bird. This would be an interesting combo. I don't think it makes the most sense. More so, I think Jumper stands out a little bit. I think Rattles, SK, and Doki would be fine as a trio in terms of cohesiveness, but I think Jumper is maybe only knows Rattles, if at all. I don't know. I don't expect Jumper to know SK or Doki, but would be fun. Regardless, I think it'd be an interesting combo. And yeah, I think, I mean, again, another Block Wars team, like mentioned, very, very common occurrence probably on this whole draft because it's me, guys. Come on. Next up, the Aqua team, which is actually the opposite of what I was just talking about. I made the lifesteal video for MCC yesterday, the one talking about like which lifesteal members are probably the most likely to be able to be added, and someone made a comment saying, hold on, someone made a comment that said a quad of Jetpacks, Pofa, Mapik, and Rochambeau would be really funny. So here you go. That's the team. Jetpacks, Pofa, Mapik, and Rochambeau. That's the team. All right, moving along. It's a lifesteal team, by the way, if you didn't know already. Next up, you have where things start to get a little bit off the rails. A team consisting of Radoons, RecRap2, Doc M77, and then Queso. I just kind of picked some people that are highly requested to join, most notably Red and Doc being probably top 5 most requested right now. Queso has been mentioned as like a half joke, really. Sorry, a half joke, really. And Parkour, he works with anybody, really. So, yep. This team would totally work super well. It wouldn't, but it doesn't really matter because, again, things are off the rails. Things don't really make sense, which leads me into the next team where, you know what, you might as well just make a FPS team at this point. 3/4 Block Wars players, this being Cheap Pickle, Sage Mobby, or sorry, Jessic, Schrodinger Lee, and then Daznirth, because might as well. And yeah, there you go. And then moving right along to the last team, I'll just actually grab it like this. And then finally, you have kind of a very interesting mix of an OG duo and then a new gen duo. This being K4Y4 speedrunner and XQC, who actually I'm fairly sure know each other if I remember correctly. There's a reason I put them on the same team. I'm fairly sure that they are like they've made content in the past. And then Jobart and Handsome, of course, because why not? And then that combo kind of makes sense. I don't think X and Joe would know each other. That's kind of the one I'd expect the most between these duos to know each other. But I'm sure that X knows of Joe, and Joe obviously will know of X, so should be close enough. Here are a bunch of other people that I grabbed as potential players to pick for this. I'm sure you could make a much more cohesive roster if you just followed whatever most common type of player was in this batch. But I didn't because this was more fun. Look. Wow. Sorry. A bit yawny. But thank you for watching. That's the video. Let me know your thoughts on an MCC that's kind of like Rising, but instead of Rising, it's just 40 newcomers that are all streamers or like established creators in the sense of like pretty popular. Yep, that's it. All right, see you later. Goodbye.